Yo, what's up, everybody? This is the first show. We are on the first show on the radio. Shout out to 92.6 The Spot. We're here every Saturday live from 12 to 1. I'm your boy, Wavy Maguire, a.k.a. the ignorant know-it-all, a.k.a. I have an aggressive beard. A little about me. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Love cigars, whiskey. I'm a comic, perform all across the country. You can catch me at a comedy club near you. And I'm with my boy,
the Brooklyn Basquiat, a.k.a. the Brooklyn Border Patrol. Welcome to the show, everybody.
Yes,
We're welcoming all our listeners from all around the world, from Japan. I think we have some listeners in Japan, in Germany. In Brazil. And all over the United States. So we welcome everybody to the show. We're happy to be here.
You can catch the show. You can catch the show on 92.6 The Spot via the app. You can go onto iTunes or Google Play and download it, or you can stream it live on 92.6thespot.com, or you can just wait until after the show, and we're always up on our regular streaming platforms such as Spotify, iTunes, BeanPod, etc.
So you said you like cigars, Wavy. What are you smoking right now?
Yo, right now I'm smoking a Gran Habano, which is a filler of Mexican, Nicaraguan, Costa Rica, which is a dope blend. A lot of complex flavors involved. It's a nice, dark, elegant cigar. It has a great smoke to it. Very sexy, very beautiful. You know what I mean?
So I guess people that are listening, you know, we're average cigar smokers, so we really get into the cigar, the flavor profile. And I'm here smoking the Brioso. The Brioso is made by General Cigars. It's a Maduro. Right. It's a Nicaraguan cigar.
Nice.
The wrapper, I think, is from Honduras, and the filler is from a few countries. The filler is from, of course, Nicaragua, Honduras. We also have Mexico and Dominican Republic. So it's a pretty good cigar.
Why is your cigars from the countries I'm from?
Correct. So it has notes like of dark chocolate, roasted almonds.
But does your shit have an elegant smoke like mine?
It is. It's elegant, and it has a little spice. I think you would like this one because you tend to like more cigars that are spicy and more peppery, and this one is definitely heavy.
Yeah, but this Gran
and it's called the Brioso.
Brioso, and this Gran Habano's in my top 5. The Corojo number 5, which is one of the dopest cigars out. But yeah, so a lot of shit has been going on. I see your girl Just Hilarious got fired, was hired and then fired.
Allegedly.
Right, which is crazy.
No one knows what's really going on, but she announced, I guess a few days ago, that she had been hired to be one of the co-hosts on The Breakfast Club. Right. And then the other day, I guess it was announced that she wasn't hired, that she was in fact fired. So,
Do you think she could get unemployment with all of that?
I think she can absolutely get unemployment. If she signed a contract, of course, it's a breach of contract. So she's going to be getting some money out of that. We just don't know what's happening. You know, the Breakfast Club has been kind of in a flux since Angela Yee left. You know, she's become basically irreplaceable, huh?
Yeah, and I think she was the only one that can like match that weird chemistry that everybody had on that show.
The weird chemistry.
Yeah, it's actually a weird chemistry, son.
You think DJ Envy and Charlamagne have weird chemistry?
Yeah, I think they had a weird. And DJ Envy, I've never you call yourself DJ Envy, and it's no disrespect, but I've never heard you spin a record in your life. Like, I've never heard anybody say like, yo son, I'm about to go to this DJ Envy party. Like, all the DJs I grew up with, like Red Alert, Kid Capri, Ron G, SNS, Ty Boogie, you know what I mean? Like, all of these dudes, you know, everybody's like, yo, we going to this Red Alert party, or we going to a DJ Clue party. I've never heard anybody say back then, like, son, I'm about to go to this party because DJ Envy is DJing. I've never heard that at all.
Never heard it. Never heard it at all. You know, we're kind of industry people. We've been in the entertainment business for a while, and we've gone to a lot of parties, and we've never. Well, I've never been to a DJ MB party. I would like to go. I hope when he does have a party, I hope we get invited.
Exactly.
We'd love to go.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what else is going on in the world right now? You know, one thing I wanted to talk about because, like you said, you're a comedian. You're the comedian. I'm the conspiracy theorist. So you know, this Cat Williams interview on Club Shay Shay.
First of all, I don't even know why a grown-ass man is calling his show his Club Shay Shay.
Right. Shannon Sharp has a show called a podcast. Is it a podcast?
It's a podcast.
It's a podcast called Club Shay Shay. So Cat Williams was on there, and he's essentially he's setting the world ablaze. You know, kind of calling out comedians about you know, stealing material and things like that. So I wanted to ask you. You know, you're a comedian. You know, I'm sure you've experienced that before. You know, why is it not good to borrow somebody else's material, as Amy Schumer calls it? She calls it parallel thinking.
But I think you shouldn't take anybody's joke to do, and because it doesn't fit your style, like, right? If someone wrote a joke, depending on who it was, whether it was Cat Williams, Tony Rock, or Dion Cole, if they wrote these jokes specifically based off of their experience, right? Like, you know, there is no reason why you should take that joke and rock it verbatim. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you share the same experience, right? Because your experience, like we can share the same experience, but my experience is way different on how I feel, and my take
is unique to you.
Right. It's unique to me. And if you experience the same thing, which is unique to you, then you would talk about it based off of your unique experience. And same thing, vice versa. I would talk about it based off my unique experience. But if I create something off of my unique experience, and you take that and rock it verbatim, it's like, fam, come on. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the reason why I found the interview a little bit shocking, because all this time I had no idea that Steve Harvey was wearing a hair unit for his show. And the other thing I didn't realize that was brought to my attention, there's another comedian, I guess his name is it DC Curry? What's his name? The comedian that had Hanging with Mr. Who's the comedian?
Mark Curry.
Mark Curry had a show, Hanging with Mr. Cooper, and essentially, you know, I didn't realize that Steve Harvey took that idea and duplicated it again. He did the exact same thing that Mark Curry did many years ago. And you know, we were privileged enough to go see a show with Mark Curry, and I remember he was going off on Steve Harvey, but nobody really understood why.
Right.
And I guess now we know why. Like, he verbatim stole his whole career and duplicated it.
Well, you know, Richard Pryor did that back in the day. Like, when Richard Pryor was doing comedy, he basically took a lot of the material that Bill Cosby was doing, because Bill Cosby was so clean, and I guess he kind of took that image and wanted to create it so that way he could get those opportunities. But when he definitely found his voice, you know, he became one of the all-time greatest comedians that ever existed.
Right.
But I mean, people try to find their way, you know, and I mean, I'm a great comedian in my head and myself. I believe in everything that I do, but I know
as
people
you should.
And I know people probably have stolen a couple, which we've witnessed while we on stage, and I'm like,
I've actually witnessed
and
it.
I'm like, really? Like, you know, I'm not even like, you know, I'm not even on television, but yet I'm honored that you went ahead and took that bit and rocked with it. But yo, check this out, fam. I'm about to go back on the road, so let me get my shit back so I could do what I have to do, so I could get my paper.
But you know, it wasn't only Steve Harvey. You know, to my surprise, he also went and came with receipts with Cedric the Entertainer. Like, Cedric the Entertainer basically stole one of his entire skits that he did on Star Search or something on one of those shows, and it was identical.
It was a comic view.
Yeah, a comic view, and it was shocking.
So all those receipts were on IG. I was just looking at all the receipts, and I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
So I want to know, because then again, this is another thing that we talk about with certain jokes. Like you have stock jokes, which are basic jokes that have been used since I was a kid, right? And then you could take those jokes and kind of tailor it to make it more your style and kick it out there for people that's never heard it. But then again, there's always other people's experience and their life experience. Like, I couldn't take Cat Williams' experience, his life experience, and then try to tell it on stage, because then they'd be like, "No, fam,
right?
That's
it's
not.
Just not gonna work.
It's not gonna fly." So I think the difference of stealing stock jokes. You can't steal a stock joke because that's a joke that's been there forever. Of course, there's low-hanging fruit jokes, right? Because you have a low-hanging fruit joke that's there. Everybody's thinking the same thing of that particular joke. So you can't necessarily, if I go on stage and do it, someone cannot come to me and say, yo, you stole my bit. I'm like, fam, this is a low-hanging fruit joke that just everybody could think of it within a snap.
Right, so stock jokes are sort of like general,
this is a general
consensus jokes that are basically there for everybody, premises that everybody talks about.
Yeah, and then you can take those premises and and flip them and and recreate it. That's like the art of sampling, right? So you take a old record, the original composition, and then you create your own composition based off of that sample, right? Now there's one specific sample that has been used forever throughout hip hop, right?
Right.
So you can't say, like, now if you took that same sample and you chopped it up and your pattern, you created the pattern to your liking, that's your flow, that's your style, and then I come in and take the same sample flow, right, and chopped it up the same way you exactly did it and create the beat, then you're gonna be like, yo, fam, you clearly stole that from me. But you could take like a James Brown record. Like I've heard, like even Bob James' Nucleus, I've heard that sample, I've heard it flipped so many different ways, but it was catered to that specific producer that did it, like Premier, Pete Rock, Jay Dilla. So all of these dudes have their own style.
I just want to stop you right there. So for those that don't know, Wavy Maguire is like the Yoda of hip hop and beats and music. And sports. So you can bring up the rarest beat that no one has ever heard before, and Wavy will know exactly where it is, who did it, what record, what year. He's what do they call it? Savant or what? like he's the Yoda of all of that. So don't try to test him with sports or music.
As soon as you get that record, I'm like, record sounds real familiar.
Right. He will play you out quickly. In that interview, he also, like, is Ricky Smiley, is he a terrible actor? Because he went after it. He said the only time he does great acting is when he's wearing a woman's dress.
Wow.
Like, is that accurate? Like, are you do you know much about Ricky Smiley? Do you follow him?
No, I don't follow Ricky Smiley.
You don't follow Ricky Smiley.
No.
Okay. So I guess that.
No, not really.
So that the other.
But
thing,
I mean, I've seen. We've
shows,
seen him in movies.
Seen him in movies.
But I've never followed Ricky Smiley at all, so I wouldn't even know what to tell you about this brother.
So one of the other interesting things that he said is he brought up Kevin Hart. Now Kevin Hart, we think very highly of Kevin Hart.
Shout out to Kev.
Shout out to Kev. He's a very, very generous dude, just a good dude. But he said that Kevin Hart is an industry plant. So I guess for those that don't understand, like a industry plant is someone who I guess achieves like a great deal of success
in a short
period of time.
And just to give you guys more industry plant, you have Ice Spice, you have fucking Sexy Red, you have who else? Like any of those, any Glorilla, any of these females that you've seen that are out there, that's what you call industry plants. Like they did one video, a TikTok video, and next thing you know, they're making millions of dollars, and then they traveling the world with Taylor Swift or doing commercials with Ben Affleck for Dunkin' Donuts, but yet they still promote bullshit ass music and they show their titties and their ass all the time. I think those are the type of chicks that give you bird flu. You know what I'm saying?
So of course, my antennas went up immediately when he brought up Ludacris and him being part of the Illuminati. I was like, oh, so it does exist. I guess he said him and Luda were in an Illuminati meeting.
I don't know.
And they were giving their side. You know, that interview was crazy. I loved it. He even brought up P. Diddy, that P. Diddy asked him a couple of times
to go to parties.
And he
but
had
you know
to
what's so interesting?
Immediately.
It's like all of these old videos of everything that everybody has ever done continues to pop up, and I'm like, yo, I forgot about this video. Like when Diddy did the Drink Champs, and he was like, yeah, daddy, but you ain't hang out with me, daddy. I'm like, what?
Wow.
What grown man calls another grown man daddy?
Wow.
Like, fam, I was just like, woo.
Wow. That was.
Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we're progressive on the show. We don't care about people's race, color, orientation, or none of that stuff. But when he did that interview, that was like,
yeah, that was kind of scary.
That was kind of scary, kind of aggressive.
Yeah. The same thing when Aaron Hall's video popped up. Aaron Hall was like, yo, these niggas know my style.
They were watching me. They watching me. I was like, wow.
They know how I be swinging. Wow. I'm like, pause, fam.
And as you can see, since they all snitched on themselves, they all caught cases.
Like every other rapper does when he raps about shit and he posts up this dumbass little kid. He steals a credit card and then goes to White Castle and purchases 1,000 White Castle burgers and then lines them up like in a pyramid on the hood of his car. Dummy, and ends up getting caught. I'm like, what? Yo, these dudes are assholes, I swear.
So you know, these are the first few days from, we're 9 or 10 days into
the New Year's. So let me ask you a question.
I wanted to ask you a real quick question before you get to your question. We had an argument during the holidays about the movie Die Hard. I want you to tell me definitively. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? I said
we
yes.
Discussed that.
I said yes. Yeah, but some people in the family were like, no, it's not a Christmas, it's just an action movie. But I call it a Christmas movie. Why do you consider it a Christmas movie?
Because it took place during a Christmas party. He was coming home for the holidays. He was going to see his wife and his kids for the holidays. It was snowing, right? There was Christmas jingles everywhere. You know what I mean? Like yes, there was guns and there was bullets, but yet there was a Christmas party. You were in a building celebrating. They could have been drinking eggnog at the Nakatomi Plaza. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it was. You even know the name Nakatomi.
Yeah, it was a Christmas movie. The same thing with Trading Places. I believe Trading Places
is a Christmas
movie. You know what I mean? Like it was all about trying to shake down the brothers. You know what I'm saying? But shake down the stock exchange. But it was a Christmas themed movie. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. I think those two should be in the top 5 of Christmas movies.
I have a conspiracy theory about Bruce Willis.
And what's your conspiracy?
Do you want to hear it?
Of course. I mean, why would they would love to hear it.
So some people don't like to hear conspiracy theories, but that's what I do. That's what I like speaking about. So apparently, Bruce Willis is suffering from dementia. He's losing his mind. But what's interesting, I think allegedly he was also part of the Epstein debacle, that whole list that came out with celebrities.
Son, that list is real.
So his name was attached to that. So now the theory is that he came up with this. A lot of the artists and entertainers, they knew that this was coming out sooner or later because I guess the alphabet cops were on top of them. They were gonna bring the whole thing down. And Bruce Willis got word of it, so he concocted this whole story that he has dementia, he can't read or remember spirits. So now,
wait a minute, that's the theory?
So that's the theory.
Wow.
So he can avoid this moment right now. So right now, if his name comes up in anything kind of dark or scandalous, he can simply go into court and say, I don't remember anything. I don't even remember my name.
And what is my name?
What is my name?
That's
my
what
name is my name.
Doesn't actors do that? Actors would be like, what's my motivation?
Right. What's my motivation? What do you think about that conspiracy theory?
Son, let me tell you, first off, that list was the most anticipated list since a fucking Tupac album.
Tupac album.
You know what I mean? I was surprised to see all of those names on that list.
I was surprised to see Chris Tucker.
You know, I think that's an insanity plea that everybody does when you commit a crime or allegedly commit something or just get caught up in some type of scandal, where you have to plead like insanity, like, oh, I'm deaf,
right,
or I'm blind,
exactly.
Or, you know, I have these heart conditions that can't allow me to breathe correctly. Like, look at Suge Knight. Suge Knight ran over 3 people at a fucking movie set. And then what did he say? I'm blind. I can't go to trial because I can see. So how was I able to see these people if I'm actually blind?
Right.
If fam, why are you driving a car? Same thing with Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby went blind for a minute until he came back home.
You know, that's funny. That's funny that all of them go blind once they get court cases. That's hilarious.
You know what? I mean, it's either 2 options. If you ever commit a crime, there's 2 options that you could do. You could either, say you have a disability or you're blind, or nigga just say, yo, I'm transitioning, I can't go into a male house. Like, you have to put me in a female house because I consider myself a woman.
Exactly. Speaking of female, I did not know that Jada Pinkett was around when Tupac was shot. I did not know that. Because did you see all the pictures on Instagram? I didn't know.
Nigga, them shits is Photoshop. I swear, Jada Pinkett is out here looking like Fat Joe.
I expect her to drop another album soon, like saying that she is Tupac.
Shit. Remember that one point, it was back in the day where everybody used to think Michael Jackson was LaToya Jackson, and LaToya Jackson was Michael Jackson.
They were never in the same place at the same time. Meanwhile, we see interviews with them separately speaking about things, and we still come up. How do people come up with these theories? I think they're kind of fun. They're not to be taken seriously.
And then remember when she did that song Centipede, everybody was like, yo, clearly that's Michael Jackson. Clearly that's Mike.
Because he's the only talented one in the family.
Right. I mean, we know Mike wrote the song and probably sang background vocals on it, but clearly everybody was like, nigga, that's Michael Jackson singing that song.
You know, we have to remember that Tito's talented too, so is Jermaine. They're all talented. I think Randy could dance too. Randy could dance a little. You know. And of course, the other talented person in that family is Janet, obviously.
Of course. So it's only those two. It's Janet and Mike.
Those two, right?
It's really Janet and Mike, because Janet went off and did television and, came up with, was one of the greatest young girls in our favorite show, Good Times, Penny. Yeah, son, that's crazy. That's crazy.
So I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the other conspiracy that's going on. We have another conspiracy or something going on. Usually, normally when I go to Miami,
right,
I always have a good time. I'm always on Ocean Drive. What do we drink? We drink the mojitos. We drink mojitos. We go to the beach. But apparently now in Miami, if you go to the mall, nigga, you're gonna see 6 to 10 foot aliens walking around, and there's people just speaking up about this, that masses of people were running out the mall because they were being chased. They were being chased by these 10-foot aliens.
Right.
And the reason why the story is a little bit, it could be possible, because there were over 50 police squads that came to the mall, that descended upon the mall just to stop what they say is just kids fighting in the mall. You're gonna get 50 squad cars
just for regular kids,
for kids. So what do you think about that? Do you think something happened, or do you think
the aliens did come down? I think they stopped.
So it's not a theory anymore. You think it's real? They
went to the Gucci store. They had to get the new, because the new Gucci sneakers just dropped, so they had to pick a pair up. The new Jordans dropped. They had to get a pair. Like, niggas want to be like dope, intergalactically dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, they want to be up there. Is that even a word?
No, it is now.
Right.
It is now on 92.6 The Spot.
No doubt. Like, these dudes wanted to look fly. But you know what I think? I think that's all, like, I think the Epstein list and these aliens and
2024
24 is on fire. I think all of this is a distraction. Like, people don't realize that the UK and the US just bombed Yemen.
Oh my gosh.
And I think nobody really knows that's happening. And I think these aliens was like, you know what, fuck it. Since the world is about to go to shit, let me just come down and grab a couple of supplies and grab some shit so I could be up there chilling. You know what I'm saying?
Because the rest of us are not prepared for what's about to come. Like, if there's war in the US, we're done. We're done. We're definitely not prepared.
We're over.
So get your guns and butter, baby, because
guns and butter.
Guns and butter.
And you better get margarine, because if you get that 50-cent butter, nigga, you are over.
It's gonna be lit in the U.S. in a few months. So get ready. You know, another conspiracy that's going on. I just have
these YouTube streets.
These YouTube, like 2024 started hot.
It started hot.
You know, apparently, you know, at the Shabbat headquarters in Brooklyn and Crown Heights at the synagogue,
that's what I meant to say.
You know, there was tunnels being built underneath all the Crown Heights.
Let me tell you something.
I was like, yo, what the hell is going on? How do people just make tunnels in New York City and nobody knows about it?
Nobody knew about
what's going on down there. What's happening? What do you think is going on?
Oh, they know what's going on.
Oh my gosh!
Because UK and fucking US is bombing Yemen.
They're making underground. They're making underground bunkers.
Nope, no doubt. And
leave the world behind.
And what's so interesting is that police went out there and raided them and was arresting them, these individuals for building a tunnel in a synagogue. And all I could think about was like, damn, Harriet Tubman is smiling from the essence just watching these folks get arrested. Like, see? Like look what y'all did. Like, you basically killed my peoples for me bringing them to the Underground Railroad. But all you doing is just arresting these dudes, and then of course they're gonna get out. They're gonna get out.
They're all gonna get out,
and they're gonna go right back in and continue building. And I think the Messiah got the blueprint from El Chapo.
Oh my God!
You know what I'm saying? There's a connection there somewhere.
Oh, this is all alleged. This is all jokes. This is all jokes. we don't want to get flagged on our first show on that 92.6 The Spot.
And then we're gonna have the program director like, yo, check it out.
It's just not gonna work out.
Yeah, fam. Shout out to Ben. Ben is gonna be like, you know what, fam? The program director. He's gonna be like, I don't think the show is gonna cut it.
Yeah. You know, I think a lot of people are trying to take flight out of the U.S. I think a lot of people feel like something's about that. Speaking of flights, I don't know if you heard the story about Alaska Airlines. Like, doors are flying off. You know, what is going on? Wavy, I need for you to explain to me what is going on. That there's no bolts and doors and people are just leaving doors there.
So it's like buying a piece of furniture or an entertainment unit from IKEA.
Oh my gosh.
Nigga, you have the instructions. But, you know, black folks don't read instructions, and we just want to go ahead and build shit because we like, yo, we could build it. We don't need the instructions.
Okay, can I ask you a question about IKEA?
Hold up, before you go there, that's what I think happened. You know, the engineers were like, you know what? I don't really need the blueprints to put this plane together, so I'm gonna just, you know, use this little bit of Gorilla Glue, or maybe use this screw. This screw doesn't even go here, but you know what? I'm gonna make it fit, and that's what happened. Planes are falling apart in midair. Son, and God. I don't want to be on. And Alaskan, I'm surprised at Alaskan. Like, I would have expected that from Frontier
or Spirit.
Maybe Southwest.
So Spirit is looking a little more solid now.
Right, you know what I'm saying? With they fucking lawn chairs.
Right.
I think I'm gonna, you know, get on a flight in Spirit, because it seems like and to keep it like how everybody says, to keep it a buck. I've never heard of a Spirit airline plane crashing or going down, and you know, never, son.
You know, they always fly in turbulent weather and all. It doesn't matter what's going on. Spirit Airlines is gonna get off the ground, but doors never fly off.
These dudes could fly through a tornado, and they would still get these black folks to Miami safe.
Correct.
For $69 round trip.
I wanted to be honest because you mentioned IKEA. You know, I have IKEA furniture, and I always notice, you know, all the tables are still sitting there, they're still standing, everything's correct, but I always leave hundreds of nails and screws.
Like, yo, what are these?
What are these hundreds of nails? They're like, are these extras? I guess they're supposed to be in the furniture, but they're never in the. I always.
So let me ask you a question: do you actually have heavy, solid items on the table?
Well, not really.
And that's the reason why the table hasn't fallen apart yet. But go ahead and put something that weighs a little more than usual. Right. Your whole table is falling apart. Son.
You can't put your entire Thanksgiving dinner on it. No, or everything will fall into pieces.
Because it's over. It's over. It's over for you.
Yeah, shout out to IKEA. they're a good resolve when you need something cheap and fast. Yeah. So you know, Wavy, what's going on with your favorite mayor in the world, Mayor Eric Adams, as we call him, Mayor Swag?
I haven't heard anything. The only thing that I heard from Adams is the fact that he is now implementing a curfew for all of the migrants. So now you have to be at your hotel or your designated shelter at a certain time. I think with clearly, it's a clear mess. If you go downtown, 42nd Street, it's a clear mess. You know, the designated areas that they have for people to walk through, nigga, it looks like a fucking living room. Like kids are out there with their toys, and it's a shame that, you know, that these people leave, you know, their desolate areas to come to New York, and then they continue to make it even more desolate. So I'm just like, you know what, nigga, we stuck between a rock and a hard place. I'm about to pack my shit up and I'm gonna move to Mexico and see, and
then come back.
And then come back, and then I'm gonna be like, yo, fam, I'm destitute.
You know, we wanna, you know, New York City, you know, is known as the melting pot. You know, we have immigrants from all over the world.
Right.
But I think the problem is now is they're digging into our resources. You know, sort of, you know, the New Yorkers, they pay their taxes and they get these resources. So now some of our resources are being cut. Sort of like, you know, like the police department, the fire department, some education is being cut.
Some education, a lot of education.
Because a lot of the funds are going elsewhere, specifically to the migrants. You know, one thing I did not agree with, we had a storm a couple of days ago, so they had to move the migrants from, I guess, somewhere near the ocean to one of the schools. And what happened was they kind of made the kids go remote so they can accommodate the migrants that were staying in their gymnasium for the day. You know, I personally feel that that's inappropriate. You know, I don't think that our kids should be moved because the migrants are here. You know, there's plenty of vacant buildings inside in New York City that they can, you know, facilitate and have these migrants stay at. You know, that's my only problem with the migrants and how we're dealing with it. I don't think Eric Adams is dealing with this effectively.
No, I don't think so. And I think he needs to get his act together, because he's clearly going to be on his way out.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. You know, and I don't know. You know, we haven't heard who the next person is that's considered, you know, to run for mayor. We don't know what's going on, but I don't know. But in other news, you know, sports. You know, the playoffs are here. Mm-hmm. Playoffs actually start today. You know, I'm looking forward for the Eagles playing Tampa Bay on Monday. I know who else is playing. You have Dallas. You have
the 49ers.
You have going to be a lot of.
You have the Bills. You know, a lot of teams. A lot of good teams. But I have to. I'm a Giants fan. Everybody knows I'm a Giants fan. Listen, one thing that cannot happen, and I think that's going to happen, I think that Dallas is going to be in the Super Bowl. You know, the Eagles are in our division, so are the Commanders. But one thing we can all agree on in the NFC East, that we do not want Dallas to win the Super Bowl or even be at the Super Bowl.
No. I mean, they could go to the Super Bowl and watch these games.
I don't even want to see. To watch somebody else win. Right.
And support. You know, and support your fellow athlete.
Right.
But I don't think that's going to happen, son. I definitely don't want to see these guys play.
Right now, I'm predicting that Dallas is going to win the Super Bowl.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I hope it's not true. I hope I'm wrong, but I think they're going to win it. I think they're going to take it.
I don't want to see it. And I mean, and you know, and once the Super Bowl is over, then I'm going to go back to watching basketball and seeing what's going on. But right now, basketball is shitty. I'm tired of watching.
Before you get into basketball, you know the Super Bowl's coming up. You know you have the performance, and Usher is going to be performing for the first time at the Super Bowl. What do you think about that? Do you think it's going to be great? Like because Usher has a lot of music.
Son, it's just going to be basically his residency that he did in Vegas is going to be at the Super Bowl. Maybe, you know, probably a lot better now. We can actually see, what he did in Vegas, and we can witness that.
Right.
But I can see, like how you always put it out there with your conspiracies. I can see a lot of sacrificial or sacrifice type images being broadcasted, and
I can't wait.
And that's the reason why you want to see it.
I want to see all the symbols. I want to see all of that. There's gonna be a lot of
symbolism, a lot of horns, a lot of smoke, a lot of fire.
Subliminal messages.
Right. There's going to be a lot of, dancers, male dancers wearing high heel boots.
No.
And that's it's always something, and that thing is going to be some fucking conspiracy type ritual that's going to happen.
You said some male dancers wearing high heel boots, as you call them, artificial sweeteners.
Right. Right. The artificial sweetener. I don't want nobody to go out there and say that. You know what I mean?
Remember, Wavy's a comedian, so he gets a pass for all of these things.
A lot of artificial sweeteners. I mentioned that, and one of my good friends, he wears a lot of high heel boots. He's a good dude, hairdresser, stylist. He styles a lot of TV personalities. And he told me that I should not be calling trans women or trans men, I shouldn't call them artificial sweeteners. I shouldn't call them Splendor. Like, I should label them as equal. You know what I mean? I don't know. That just popped up in my mind. I'm sorry, everybody. So please don't flag me.
We're clearly getting flagged on our first show on 92.6.
Yo, Ben is sending me a text right now.
Right now.
Yo, he's from the 92.6 headquarters. Like, yo, fam, you cannot be doing this. Yo, on our first live show. Every Saturday from 12 to 1.
12 to 1.
92.6 The Spot.
You're going to hear the debauchery.
And you can download the app so you can listen to us stream live, or you could go on the internet and listen to it, or you guys can, if you don't get any of those, you can always wait till, we're on our other streaming platforms like iTunes and Spotify, etc., etc.
And of course, we're called the Ignorant Know-It-Alls. Because we don't know what the hell we're talking about.
And we're ignorant. and that's what it is. I'm the ignorant know-it-all. You know what I'm saying?
Of all. So Super Bowl's coming up. So are you looking forward to basketball season, or are you looking forward to the UFL coming up?
No, I'm pretty much looking forward to the USFL. Is the USFL or the UFL?
You know what? I think they're combining them now.
Okay.
I think it's becoming the UFL, the United Football League. Now.
Okay, I'm interested in looking at that. I'm also interested in watching European football.
Me too.
So I was reading a post where it said that football now is considered to be the most watched sports, right now, besides, the regular like soccer, besides NASCAR. But football now is kind of topping, like everybody is loving it. Everybody's interested in watching football. Basketball seems to be declining. I was talking to another friend of mine where he's just saying he doesn't like the way, Adam Silverman is taking the NBA. You know what I mean? Like,
why?
The NBA is kind of now getting soft because of, the things that are going on, right? A lot of players are allowed to get away with a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? But you have to understand, these players that are doing these things are actually the superstars in the face of the league. So they're just getting, their wrist slapped, like, oh no, and they're just slapping their wrist. Like, I assume with all of the fucking, headaches that Draymond Green has been given, I assume that he was going to have a full suspension for the rest of the year. but he only got a 15-game suspension, came back, and, you know, we're just waiting to see what happens. You know what I mean? He may do something, he may not. You know, Ja Morant, as soon as he came back from his suspension, he threw them guns up, and then look what happened. Right. Now his shoulders is injured. Now he's out for the rest of the season. You know, I don't know. I don't think they grasp it. I don't think they understand it. Like
they need the money.
But the thing is, you have the money. But you have to understand, like, you know, a lot of these kids, and, you know, Charles Barkley said that shit way back in the early 90s and the 80s. Like, he wasn't a role model. But you have to understand, these kids still look up to you. And, you know, of course, there's like a level of professionalism. Like, okay, yeah, we know you're young. We know you're going to do things, you know, but then you apologize and you move forward and try to correct that. But if you constantly continue to keep doing it every time they did it, fam, it's a problem.
No, you know, these athletes have to understand it's not about themselves. It's not about them anymore. They represent a $1 billion organization. It's a $1 billion corporation, and they are businessmen. You know, and you have to conduct yourself in that manner.
You're a businessman, correct? Right? One, you're a businessman, and you're a business asset.
Yourself, right?
You're a business asset to the governing body, which is the NBA and the team. So, you know what I mean? So it's like me going to work. You know, I have procedures and policies that I have to follow. You know what I mean? Like if I disrespect any of those, not even use the word disrespect, if I violate any of those policies and those and you know, I get reprimanded, you know, I get written up, whatever, I could be fired, suspended, whatever. But, you know, to continue to keep doing it, it's like, come on, fam. You know, yeah, you can have fun behind closed doors, nigga. You can bust your guns behind closed doors. But you can't, you know, don't go on live and try to bust guns.
So I just wanted to interject. We were talking about athletes and them representing the company and the organization. Is it kind of the same with musical artists like a Taylor Swift or Jay-Z? Because normally we don't see musicians as the same, but, you know, Jay-Z comes to mind. He conducted himself as a business, and now he is a billionaire. Right. So are artists held to the same standard as athletes, or you don't think it's the same thing?
I think it's a difference.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a difference. You know, a lot of these artists have a platform that they can utilize to promote the type of style of music that they want. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I mean, look at all the rappers that we have, Sexy Red and Ice Spice. Like, these chicks are just promoting, you know, whatever it is that they're promoting. But I don't think any of it.
But are those artists, or those are just industry plants? Like
it doesn't matter if it's a plant. It doesn't matter if they are a plant or not. You know, they are utilizing their platform to promote, you know, this music. A lot of the music is garbage. You know, I don't think a lot of the music these kids should be, you know, I mean, Sexy Red is running around town talking about her booty hole brown. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, you know, do you really want your kid to listen to that? And a lot of these labels are not going to tell the artist, yo, you need to clean your act up, or you need to change your lyrics. No. If these kids are buying this record and is getting played on the radio 30 times a day, and they're listening to it, the label is making money, the artist is making money, the radio station is making money. So everybody's making money hand over fist. And, you know, they're going to continue to say, yeah, continue to put out, you know, my booty hole brown part 2. Put that out as well. So I guess, need that.
Right. So I guess the real question is, should we be coming down on Sexy Red and artists like that, or should we be coming down hard on the executives of these $1 billion corporations and the radio stations that are backing this?
Well, everybody has a level of responsibility.
I agree.
Even you know, comics have a responsibility. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, our job is to take material from anywhere and make it funny, right?
And put a spotlight on what's going on in society.
Right. We are the ones that's, you know, we are the voice for the voiceless, right?
Right.
We can say what we want, we can do what we want, but then there's also a respect part to it, right? We respectfully do what we have to do to make fun of it.
Right.
Now, if you're just a comic that's just out there and it's all about, yeah, bitch this, bitch that, and then, you know, and it's not really funny and you're just doing shit and it's not really connecting with the audience and you're just saying it just to say it. You know what I mean? Like, there was a comic that, that said something about Kobe Bryant.
Right.
There have been clever jokes.
Very disrespectful.
There have been clever jokes surrounding his death, right? But if you're just coming out and saying, yeah, he got what he deserved, because he's a rapist, and that's it. It's like, nigga, that you're just making a point just to make a point to be disrespectful.
Right, you're not being funny. You're being malicious.
Right. But like I said, to each his own. Everybody has their own way of doing things. And, like I said, we as an individual have to hold ourselves accountable. Now, if you out there talking about, my booty hole brown, but then again, you're out there promoting positivity and, like you're donating to schools, then, we really can't, you know what I'm saying? It's a catch-22. Like, right. Yeah, we know you do this to sell records, but then again, the proceeds of what you're singing and what you're selling, then, it's like a drug dealer. A drug dealer comes in, a drug dealer come in, fucking sell crack to the community, kill the whole fucking community, but then every Thanksgiving and every Christmas he's out there giving turkeys. So you know what I'm saying? So it's like
all money, not good money.
Exactly, and that's what we have to. And this is a conversation for everybody to like. This just sparks dialogue. You know what I mean? Like, I could be wrong, but this is just my thoughts.
Right.
You could be wrong, but that's just your thought and your opinion.
These are just conversations we always have in the Black Country Club, or we call the barbershops all around the U.S. They're just conversations that we have.
Right.
We're not saying we're the end-all opinion.
So we all have a level of responsibility.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And even if we we write songs that degrade women, or we sell drugs in our community, or we make fun of jokes, we joke about pedophiles or rapists, and you people dying, and shit that's going on in the world, and we're making fun of all of this. I think, like I said, it's just because there are people that are like, damn, I want to say that, but damn, he's saying it. That shit is really funny.
Right.
But we still have to hold ourselves as an individual. We have to hold ourselves accountable for a lot of the things that we do. You know what I'm saying? So, like they said, Rome wasn't built in a day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, like I always say this, you know what I mean? Like, I think Jesus faked his own death just to avoid paying child support. You know what I mean? And we are God's children. You know what I mean? Like, he's always, you know what I'm saying? And it's funny within a sense, if you really think about it. It's like, oh shit, that is kind of funny. You know what I'm saying?
Remember, folks, these are all jokes. Wavy's a comedian. We don't want to receive letters from the Vatican about us on 92.6 The Spot.
Right. Because, I'm definitely going to get another text from our program director, Ben, fam.
We don't want to get letters from the Archdiocese.
Right. But on that note, this was a great show. This is the first show. Like I said, as we go along, the show will probably get way better.
Or way worse.
Yeah, basically. So we don't know what to expect. As we push it along and we make things. And my final thought is like, you have to hold yourself accountable, and keep pushing the culture forward, regardless of what it is. If you disrespect the culture, you have to do something that balances it out, so that way, it's like good and evil, right? You do evil things, but then again, you help old ladies across the street, so it kind of balances. You know what I mean? It kind of balances, and that's what it is. It's the yin and the yang.
I agree.
That probably didn't make any sense, but to me, in my head, that shit made perfect sense.
I agree with that. I think everybody should be allowed to at least have the conversation. You don't have to agree with their point of view, but everyone should be allowed to their opinion.
Right, exactly. And I'm your boy, Wavy Maguire, a.k.a. the Ignorant Know-It-All, a.k.a. I have an aggressive beard, and I'm with my boy,
the Brooklyn Basquiat, and we'll see you next time on the Ignorant Know-It-All.
Yep, on 92.6 The Spot. Holla at your boy.